Cheers.
Chin chin. Salud.
So, having ourselves a lovely virgin mojito and a virgin coronita.
Muy bien.
A wrap? Anyone?
Some crab wrap
Crab wrap?
and a swim.
Yeah. Why not? It's a great place for lunch.
It is. And a flamingo. A swim with the flamingo, if you please.
Yeah, there's a golden flamingo right there. Sounds like we're bullshitting, but we're not.
No. And how did you start your day today?
At 4 in the morning,
And what were you up to at 4 in the morning?
something called the pineal gland meditation.
Very interesting. And what does one do in a pineal gland meditation?
You're pulling the mind out of the body. You're creating an induction field by contracting the muscles from your pelvic floor up, because there's protein salts in the cerebrospinal fluids, and by pulling it up, it goes up and up and up, just like a magnet. It starts creating an electrical charge, a magnetic charge, and then you're just knocking on the door of that pineal gland, stretching those crystals, making them stretch and compress, and that activates the transducer in the pineal gland, which is a radio receiver, like an antenna, to pick up signals from source.
From the quantum field. Excellent. So when you activate your pineal gland, then you download information from source energy. And how did you feel?
And a bit later, you download a lunch by the pool. See, it works.
And then after lunch, we're going to walk into our future?
Yeah, and we're gonna heal some people.
Oh yeah, we're going to do the healing, the Coherent meditation.
Yeah, second one. That's epic, isn't it?
The healings that we've heard of this week was phenomenal. Healings from Mallorca.
Yes.
Doctor said 0% chance of survival to this woman, 0. And people should probably know that you trust a doctor because they're white coat and they nurture, so you take on the belief to what they say. So when people say you've got 3 months to live, oftentimes people die at 3 months.
But remember, you can believe the diagnosis, but never the prognosis.
Yes, very good. And this woman was diagnosed with cancer all over her intestines, all over her stomach, so she was going to die within a month. What happened?
They know this from the previous episode.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, great.
So we have to come up with something else.
Okay. Who else? We had asthma. We had asthma healed.
They know about that one too.
They know about the spine.
They know about the spine.
Okay, very good.
They're well informed. You know,
Lucky.
I'm doing my best as a reporter here. Keeping it objective, not like most reporters, right?
Yeah, very true. Very true. Okay, so they know about this. Do they want to know about changing the box?
Please tell them. Enlighten them.
Okay. Well, we did changing the box meditation. Very interesting. So your reality is your little box. And when you go up to the quantum field, you go up to source energy, and you simply have your issue that you're dealing with and how you feel about that. You've got the emotions attached to some aspect of your life. Say it's your job or it's something that you want to create and you've got feelings towards it. So you go up to the field and you simply think about that. You place the thought, but you change the emotion associated with the thought. And because in the quantum field, which is the eternal now, when you make that change there, you've automatically made that shift down here. So when you come back down from your meditation, you've chosen another dimension to exist in.
Okay, so for normal people, whenever you have a problem, it's like you're trapped in a box, right? You have your perceived obstacles, you don't see the solution in whatever challenge you may have at work or at home, and you feel stuck. But in the quantum field, there exists already a solution. So you could say it's a different box or it's a different frequency.
Yeah.
And when you tune into that frequency, you can tune into how you would think and how you would feel if you were already there. So instead of feeling stuck, frustrated, angry, you might feel free and exhilarated and whatever else you may feel. And so during the meditation, you literally step into that frequency, into that box, and you embody that.
Yeah. And people believe it's so difficult, but
It's easy.
it couldn't be easier, because we're all frequency, and when you're in a certain emotion, you have the choice to switch it and to change it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Wonderful. Thanks for simplifying it.
All right. So, any last words for the lovely audience watching this from all over the world?
Guys, keep tuning in. Keep being the co-creator. Hope you're doing your meditations. I hope you're following the meditations that are being offered to you, because they're life-changing, literally. As you change your energy, your entire reality around you changes. So when you heal yourself, you work on yourself, literally every aspect of your life changes. So keep enjoying, keep tuning in, and lots of love, and enjoy the creation.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, pleasure.
Hello, everyone. That was a little special episode right there. I'm back with my regular news anchor on the unofficial Dr. Joe TV, Luis Paduano. Boyan Dobrev, myself. We're happy that you joined us again on this wonderful day here in Mexico.
For sure.
As you have heard, we did some pineal gland meditation. Luis, how was your pineal gland meditation? It was your first one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was different, right? Because we started at 4 a.m, so that's something that was new. When we got there a little later than we expected, right? So it was hard finding somewhere to camp out a spot, I guess, for lack of better words. So Ramin and I ended up in front of the translator's booth, like directly in front of it, which I presume was only open because nobody else wanted to be directly in front of the translator's booth. But I saw it as a way to as a challenge, right? A way
To stay focused, even though there's the noise
For
of
sure.
the translator.
Because Ramin was like, "Oh, what about the translator?" And I'm like, "What about him? Like, this is a good opportunity for us, right? If we can't meditate with just that slight noise, because that's not even very loud, then like we're gonna have some real trouble when we get back to real life."
Yeah. And
But
you're trained with your son,
Yes,
right?
yes.
He
My
has to
son,
meditate when his son is making sounds.
my son could be quite boisterous. He's a very happy and hyper child
How
at
old is
times.
he? 3?
He's 7.
Oh, 7.
He's 7.
Oh, wow.
Yes. He's a wild but
We should do more
very happy boy.
team building between the news anchors here.
Yeah. So yeah, at first, I was having a hard time getting into it at first. I presume maybe because I was even though it was supposed to be that, or it does help that you're tired, but I just couldn't seem to get my focus on at first. So it just took me quite a while to really get in the swing of things, right? And those sitting breaths and pulling up and releasing, pulling up and releasing, and then up, and then after that we lay down, right, for a while, focus on 1, 4, 6, and then back to, and then probably some of those other breaths.
Yeah, we did all the energy centers.
Oh, we did? Okay. See, yeah, I'm a little tired today. I do apologize for this. But yeah, it just took me probably a half an hour, 45 minutes to really get into the meditation. But once I got into it, I was finally able to get a flow going and really start feeling, the energy getting to my head, and then it started buzzing, and I even got to the point where I could just seeing like white flashes behind my closed eyes. My head was really buzzing. My only problem being, maybe not a problem, but what I need to work on is that every time it started building like this, I would get overly excited and be like, "Oh, it's here," and it would.
Okay.
It was like, "Oh, you still don't want to surrender, do you?"
Yeah.
So
You're expecting like some mystical experience,
For
geometrical
sure.
patterns,
for sure,
having a chat with Mr. God up there.
which would be amazing, but you cannot expect it. You need to just surrender and let it go. And I couldn't seem to do that yesterday.
Well, that's quite an achievement already, just feeling that energy and that white light.
For sure. And after that, so I was beating myself up a little bit over it, but then I realized, like, this is practice, right? There's, as Dr. Joe says, there's no bad meditation, so this is okay, right? We shouldn't be beating ourselves up or judging ourselves for for incidental thoughts we have, or for our lack of practice yet, right? I'm not great at this yet, so I'm expecting myself to be perfect at this meditation when it's the first time I've ever tried it, right?
You know what I've noticed? So sometimes I can be really in the meditation and then I get distracted. And then I'm in it and I'm distracted, just thinking of people in my life or situations and circumstances. And at first I was like, damn it, why can't I just be focused? But during the retreat in Mallorca 2 months ago, I had a lot of realizations about these people or situations. And I think by going into the void and, that energy, that focused state of awareness, I managed to bring some of that wisdom into the situation or the people and kind of shine a light of wisdom onto it. And so even, that distraction that I thought was not a good thing actually turned out to be a really good thing.
So it's not really a distraction, right? It's actually information that could be helpful, but at the time we're seeing it as a distraction because we're trying to meditate and trying to force an outcome, right? When really we could be getting handed gems.
And it's something that has come up every day almost during this week. Like there's always people who think I'm not doing it good enough, or why are they having this mystical experience or this massive emotional release and I'm not. It's just constantly this comparing, but fuck that, right?
This does happen to me though too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm sitting there and I'm meditating and I'm pulling up and I'm feeling buzzing and and then all of a sudden I hear somebody just explode. I'm like, what the hell? In my head I'm like, what the hell, man? But then I have to go back in my heart and say, this is, they probably surrendered, right? And this was their time. Maybe they meditated longer, maybe they meditated less. That doesn't matter. What matters is this was their time, and our time will come, or my time will come when it's ready, when it's right for it. Exactly. This is hard for me to not try to control stuff though, especially things like meditation, because I see it as my own mind, right? So I'm like, why can't I control my own mind, my own body and stuff like that? But it's my mind that and my body that I'm trying to gain control over, but ultimately I'm using those to try and connect to something that's beyond me. So you can't control what's beyond you. Like the void, how am I going to control the void? How am I supposed to control the divine source? Doesn't even make sense. So I think that being more, by the end, I was able to finally accept where I was, accept my limitations for now, and meditate, and and then it seemed to fly by because I had gotten I finally gotten into a flow, into a rhythm, and then it seemed like it was over. And so 4.5 hours like this.
4.5 hours, and then Joe afterwards imagine you're at a party and we just meditated for 4.5 hours, and what is it that you do? Headspace thing with 10 minutes? Oh, that's cute. That was hilarious.
Seriously. Now, I've never meditated that long. Don't get me wrong, there's times I've meditated for 2 hours when I'm just spending the whole night trying to meditate, and I think that's a long time. And that's only because I never actually got into the flow of it. A lot of times when I'm meditating by myself, I guess I didn't have the process down. I was always judging myself too much. I didn't.
It's so clever of him because he does it to stretch us beyond our perceived limits, right?
For sure.
Because once you've meditated for 4.5 hours, then what is 1 hour? Or what is 2 hours? It's nothing, Just like if you run a marathon, then a half marathon will always be okay. I can do this. Like no matter, even if you haven't trained that much, you can do it because it's in your legs. You've already done it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there are many people that thought that they would not be able to do this. I didn't. That's one thing I'm thankful for. I didn't go into it with any kind of preconceived I can or I can't. I just went in there knowing that I was going to get this done. Like we were going to go in there and get this done. Like the one thing about doing work on yourself is what makes it easier is that you're doing something you want to do, right? You're doing something for the betterment of yourself and actually all those around you, because as you better yourself, you're a better person for everyone around you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes it's hard to see it like that. There are times that before, when I was taking time to meditate, right, I'm thinking, oh, I'm taking too long. I should be doing this or I should be doing that, because I feel like maybe I'm wasting time. But now I see that that is not the case. This helps everyone. This simply helps everyone. You raising your vibration, it can simply only help elevate those around you.
You know, I was sitting next to a guy this morning, Yoav, and we were talking, and he was like, "Did I show you the text message I got from my wife?" And I was like, "No." And so, the first time we did the walking meditation on Thursday morning, early morning, like at the same time, towards the end of it, his wife texted him like, "Man, what's going on? Like, I can feel so much energy, like," and I'm like laughing and crying at the same time. Like, what is going on? And so she picked up the energy, and she lives, I think like Seattle or somewhere in the U.S. And he was here, and he told me that since then his children haven't been fighting, whereas before they would always fight. They would just make fights out of nowhere.
Oh, no way.
So you just never know, as Joe says, like how you doing this work will influence everyone around you now or down the line, you know.
Sure.
So as Jim Rohn used to say, the best investment you can make is personal development. The best thing you can do for others is personal development.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're only going to be more pleasant, right? Even if you take away the energetic aspects of it, right? This is something that you're not familiar with yet, and you know it's hard for you to believe. Just take away the energetic aspects of it, you're simply a more pleasant person to be around, a more patient person to be around, a more understanding and compassionate person to be around, less judgmental. Like the list just goes on and on. So
plus then the physiological benefits of decreased cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, increased IgA levels, which are antibodies that fight flu and illnesses.
Your telomeres?
Your telomeres, they probably don't shorten as fast, I would imagine. But also you're upregulating good genes and you're down-regulating the bad genes that create a disease. It's just, the list goes on.
Yeah, effects can simply be countless. And like you said, that those are just the material, simply the material benefits.
Material, because everything is energy at the end of the day. But yeah.
I know. I was trying to speak for maybe our watchers that don't have this understanding yet, haven't gotten there yet, but you will.
But we have some brilliant watchers, don't we?
Yes, we do. And again, I would like to tell you how much I appreciate your kind words, because this really alleviates a lot of the anxiety that I personally used to get from making these. It has gone way down for sure. Actually, I don't feel anxious at all. It's simply because those kind words have let me know that this is being of a benefit to someone else, which outweighs anything that is for me, or could be. It's actually good for me anyways to step out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny, isn't it? Because it's like a fear, and it's almost this big wall that you're standing against. Like, how am I gonna get over this wall? But then you just do it, and this is literally the 7th day, right? So after just 4, 5, 6 days, you're like, I got this.
It doesn't help if you have a roommate that knows how to help you break barriers.
Yeah.
So,
it's been a journey.
I've been fortunate. I think you were put in my path for a reason, for sure, dude.
You too, man. You too.
For sure.
So moving on, the coherence healing, that was the second one.
Yes.
You had a special experience, didn't you?
That was, so it wasn't as, for me, this time I was fortunate. I was a bit more prepared for this, so the energy wasn't so overpowering. That first day, it was really, I felt like it was going to be too much for me, and I was questioning whether I was going to be able to finish or not. Luckily, I was able to focus on the fact that we were doing it for someone else and not myself, and just like I had said, ask for my subconsciouses and my higher self and the divine's help to just allow me to channel to help. But this one was a lot more calm for me. the energy was still there for sure, but I was lucky to have this beautiful soul of a woman next to me, and her energy was so calming that it simply overruled, or it didn't overrule it, but it just kept sending like calming waves through me. So every time I started getting worked up, it just went right back down, which allowed me to focus more on just feeling the space around my hands or in between my hands, and then feeling the space outside of my hands. So what we mean by that is feeling, for me, the energy that's coming off my hands, right, and the field that's created by me, my own energetic field, and then it's interacting with the field of all the other healers and the healee that's on the ground, right? So I was able to just focus on this and actually at the same time think about expanding my heart more and more, expanding the field of my heart and just and heal. And so I wasn't so overwhelmed, and it felt like it was a really good one. And then because I wasn't overwhelmed, I believe I was the first one to open my eyes from my team. And I kid you not, I looked at the healee, and from her legs, whatever, it was just like a white beam or a white something just shot into the sky, and I was like, what the I looked around, like, and it doesn't seem like anyone else noticed, and I don't know if they weren't awake yet, or it's kind of hard to tell because it's a little dark in there. Everyone's still a little disoriented, but I don't know. I know what I saw though, and it startled me, but that, I didn't. It's not about me, so I didn't want to bring that up. And I meant to ask her later on, but I haven't seen her since.
Whether she felt something.
Yeah, for
was
sure.
Was she crying or making any movements?
She was definitely making movements and stuff. She was, shaking around. The energy was flowing through her, and she was also crying, and she definitely thanked us profusely afterwards, and I thanked her. I thanked her also because, I don't think the healees understand is that we're also feeling the effects of these healings at the same time. I feel it profoundly. I can feel all the energy, and then I especially towards the end when he tells you to put your hands back on your heart, and how exactly does he say it? To put your hands back on your heart, right?
Yeah, to turn your love inwards.
Turn your love inwards, right? And know that you are also worthy
of that love.
So for me, I feel all of their energy, and then when I put it back, I feel all of it come into me, and it's simply it's something that you have to experience to really understand. But I assure you, it is totally worth doing for everyone involved.
I mean, pretty much anyone I've spoken to, and Joe himself, he says it as well. It's like the most beautiful thing, being able to give life to another being. Being able to give that unconditional love and that healing, when they get a healing, they thank us, but I thank them just as much.
Every time.
It's such a privilege to be able to do that.
Every time, and I thank every one of my teammates because their energy is also healing me, is also helping me. Yeah. I don't know if everyone perceives that or feels that yet, but it is definitely the case. So, yeah, they're simply beautiful. But how about you? How was yours?
Man, like every time it's just, I feel so much energy in my heart. It swells up. I feel my heartbeat much more than normal. I feel some arteries literally like expanding, as I said in the previous video, I think. Mm-hmm. And I can just sit there all day, man. I'm just like, this is the best,
Seriously.
I can't stop smiling when I do it. Just being with all these amazing people and just giving life and healing to another being that we don't even know. I don't know, it feels like that is one of the main reasons why I'm on this planet.
Yeah, for sure. And I felt that a little for a while also, but I didn't have the knowledge of how to help yet. But now I see, and I see that this is super important and can be done from remotely, right? It can be done for anyone. Like, that's not to say that anyone's just gonna be miraculously healed, but I can almost guarantee that there's gonna be some positive effect of that type of healing. There just I don't see how there couldn't be. I simply don't see how there couldn't be.
Yeah, well, there's people doing it regularly. You know, all the coherence healing that are being done from a distance online through Zoom, the ones that
And they're working.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, see, I don't. See, so this is super. This is beautiful.
Such a cutie. Still so much to discover here. We're gonna drag him along, and it's gonna be a beautiful journey.
I'm definitely gonna join those groups.
Yeah.
For sure. So then what was and then we got such a special treat after that.
Yeah, we did an evening walking meditation as well. So 2 morning ones and then an evening, and you can watch a short little clip right now. And another beautiful walking meditation with full moon. So as you can see, that was gorgeous. Beautiful beach, beautiful moon, sunset.
I think that because it happened directly after the coherence healing, everybody's heart was so open still that it, like for me, that was the best one that I've had yet. I was able to just finally not let go completely, because I guess maybe I'm still not completely to that version of myself yet, but I definitely left a lot of my old version of myself behind. And this is not to say that I was doing it the wrong way before, because I don't think there's a wrong way to do this, but I would just walk around with my hands on my heart and just kind of walk at a slow pace, a little more reserved. But my heart was so open, and everybody's was so open, and people are dancing and just feeling the love that I couldn't not just move and groove my way through this meditation. I simply could not. I just was feeling it, right? And I'm just like, and he's saying, you know, be grateful for the older version of yourself, because this is and love him, right? Because of him is the reason you're here now, right? But also to walk with a purpose, like you are the version that you want to be. And I finally was able to just get with it and go. And then I happen to see Boyan on my way through, and I get this high five that energizes me even more. And I'm just like, man, this is so awesome. There's beautiful clouds and beautiful freaking moon, and like, how could you not be super blissed out in this moment? Like, it's beyond me. And then you see other people just jamming out, and like, you know, it's something you have to experience.
Do you remember Laura, the 17-year-old girl with the glasses who came skydiving with us? Of course. So she's here with her mom because they wanted to help her vision. She started having really bad eyes since the divorce of her mom and her dad. And did you see her during the walking meditation?
No, I didn't happen to catch her.
She was not wearing glasses.
Oh, seriously?
She told me
no
she
way.
could not see her hand in detail if it was on this distance. And I saw her 3 times as we crossed each other without glasses. From like several meters away, she saw me and she started smiling. Like before, she wouldn't even be able to recognize my face.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, high five, girl.
Oh, I did catch that. You high five her, actually. Now that you say that, I did catch you high five her.
And I spoke to her afterwards, and she didn't even realize. Like, oh yeah, I guess I must have seen you then.
Oh, so this is great. So now she has an understanding that she wouldn't even have realized before.
Yeah. I mean, her eyes are still not perfect, but now she experienced having much, much better eyesight. But I think there's still the momentum from the past, you know, that she's been carrying along for many years. And maybe a part of her is still not really, really believing it. But I'm pretty sure that if she keeps doing the work, she will heal.
Yeah, she'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody just has one profound moment and they're completely healed. You know, a lot of us, we have a lot of baggage, for lack of better words, a lot of built up emotions stuck in us, a lot of programs that have been hardwired into our brain. And it takes time and energy and effort to break these. So don't be discouraged, like, oh, how come I'm not just healing in one shot? You know, like, how come I've been working at this for 3 months or 4 months and you know, there's still, I just pay attention to the small improvements that you've been having. So this way you can appreciate them and see that you are moving forward. Yeah. But yeah, that was... That was super beautiful. But how about you? I seen you also
Oh.
grooving your way through there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So what I focused on that meditation was to be in a constant state of joy no matter what. Just to feel that connection to my heart and let this indicate how I want to feel rather than the environment. And I just realized today when we finished the workshop, there was a team meeting and it took longer than expected. So by the time I got to the restaurant, it was 3:05. And normally our entrance, our day pass, was until noon, but they had extended it until 3, okay, just so that we can have lunch. And I arrived 5 minutes later, and they're like, "Well, sorry, but that's the best we can do. And you can buy, you know, for $50 or something like that. You can have lunch."
Have one meal.
And there was like 1 or 2 people, because we were a few, that were really pissed off, you know, and like I'm just thinking, well, it's not this innocent woman's fault, and she has instructions from higher up, and I didn't allow that to bring me down. So I was like, okay, let's be greater than my circumstances, my environment. I was super hungry. Let's be greater than my body as well. Let's be greater than time. So I went away, came and saw you, and then we went to the other part of the resort, which is a shuttle ride away, and we just started talking with the girl who healed herself from the ovarian cancer, the cervical cancer, which had 0% survival rate. She healed during a Coherent healing in Mallorca. And we were just talking, and you know, we were in a good mood. And they were like, well, why don't you just try to get in with us in this other restaurant there? And we're like, okay, we can try, you know, but like we're 5 people, and surely there's not 5 people sleeping in their
one room, yeah, for sure.
And as we get there, like I see that there's no one standing at the door, like literally no one. We just walk in and just sit down and have lunch.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
And man, like that can't be only coincidence.
No,
you know?
that was
you're literally
beautiful.
creating your reality by staying in that high vibration, and then you have these beautiful synchronicities. So
And we got to spend 2 more hours with these 2 very cool, very beautiful souls, and you know, just become more attached, more connected before we actually left, which I was really happy for. They're my teammates, like I had said previously, and I had been hanging out with them all week, so I really wanted to have a chance to, you know, get. And I didn't have their numbers personally, so I was happy to have this chance to actually get their numbers personally, get some, you know, just get some of their background on them, because we didn't have too much time to get like background information, figure out really who they are, and find out that, you know, that we all have a lot in common. You know, a lot of us were from different countries, different places, but we are experiencing a lot of the same things, and we're all just working to better ourselves. And man, I'm just super happy that she was able to overcome that. She is such a cool, spunky person that,
she's full of life.
And her and her husband went through a lot and worked a lot, really hard to try and keep her alive, you know. And they don't plan on just, like we have this new lease on life, we're just gonna, you know, live our life now and have fun. No, they want to pay it forward,
inspire others, and so we might get lucky, and I might be able to do an interview with her at some point in the future. So I'll let you guys know. It's gonna be phenomenal because she's so inspiring. Anyways, it's time to wrap up this news episode.
for sure.
We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us.